the seat of the soul. The French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes has said it's the pineal gland. But what if I told you that there is another gland in the human body that shares that relationship with the pineal gland? That these two glands are somehow connected with each other, one that is shrouded in mystery and is barely known to modern man. That this gland has lying within it a sealed away energy so potent and powerful it could bring about psychic and healing abilities, or, if misused, psychotic breakdown. Here's a quick overview of what we know scientifically about this mysterious gland. In the year 1892, German zoologist and comparative anatomist Franz von Leydig made a little-known discovery of a gland in vertebrates he called the Lyden Gland. An internet search for this scientist will discuss that he is mostly famous for something called the cells of Leydig, discovered in 1850. These are well known today and have had plenty of research done, as they are cells that produce testosterone. The cells are found in men and smaller amounts in women. But strangely, there is little to no information of the scientist on his discovery of the Lyden gland. The only official thing that is easy to find connecting the scientist to this gland is an article on encyclopedia.com. The passage states, Leydig is also known for the discovery of the gland of Leydig, a portion of the mesonephros in vertebrates, of which the secretions are thought to stimulate the movement of spermatozoa. The only other information you will find from an internet search is anatomy from sharks, where Leydig's gland seems to act similar to bulbourethral glands in humans, which are known as Cowper's gland in males and Bartholin gland in females. They secrete fluids during sexual arousal and also help carry sperm. Now, you may be wondering what Leydig's gland has to do with the gland in the title of this video. Well, Leydig's gland and the Lyden gland are just two different names for the same thing. Now, here's where we depart from the concept of purely physical, scientific thought and take a journey to somewhere much deeper. If we want to really know more about this gland, we must look at the source for all the information we have on the version known as the Lyden gland. And that source is none other than the famous sleeping prophet, Edgar Cayce. Now, this video is not about Edgar Cayce himself, but we will go over him briefly so we can understand why what he says about this gland is important. Edgar Cayce is arguably the most famous American mystic and/or psychic in history. He entered self-induced altered states of consciousness that allowed him to answer questions that no one else could. At first, he mostly did this as medical help to others to cure their ailments. He gave over 14,000 of these so-called readings. And the thing is, they are all documented. You can read them yourself right now, and he cured countless people with strange remedies, all while having zero medical education. Now, let's see what he has to say about what he termed the Lyden gland. Let's go over a couple of question and answer readings from Edgar Cayce. The Lyden gland is the same as that we have called the Lyden and is located in the gonads. It is in and above where the activity passes through the gonads. Lyden is the meaning or the seal, see? While Lydig is the name of the individual who indicated this was the activity, you can call it either of these as you want to. The exact location of this gland is still unknown, but here Edgar Cayce is seeming to describe that it is located above the ovaries and testes, but that it has physiological activity that passes through the gonads. What is the Lyden gland and where is it located? Lyden meaning sealed, that gland from which gestation takes place when a body is created through coition or inception, through conception of two bodies meeting and creating a body, located in and above the gland called genital glands, see? In the male, above the glands corresponding to the testes. In the female, that above gland responding to testes in the male. Here, in this particular case, near the size of a wren's egg, nominally should be about the size of a small pea. Now here's where things get really interesting. The person he gave this reading to was suffering from schizophrenia. For those of you unfamiliar with Edgar Cayce's work, this may be shocking, but it seems like the Lyden gland is associated with major mental illnesses in several readings for several different individuals. Now, we must ask why. What is it about this mysterious gland located nowhere near the brain that could cause mental illness? Let's take a look at another Edgar Cayce reading that can help clear things up. As has been given, there are definite conditions that arise from within the inner man when an individual enters into true or deep meditation. A physical condition happens. A physical activity takes place. There is the arousal of that stimuli within the individual that has within it the seat of the soul's dwelling. It rises from the glands known in the body as the Lyden to the Lyden, and through the reproductive forces themselves. The spirit and the soul is within the encasement, or its temple within the body of the individual. See? With the arousing then of this image, it rises along that which is known as the Appian Way, or the pineal center, to the base of the brain, that it may be disseminated to those centers that give activity to the whole of the mental and physical being. The term Appian Way seems to indicate a spiritual force that goes along our spinal cord and nerves that connects the Lyden to the pineal gland. Also, Edgar Cayce's use of the term centers correlates with a commonly known other spiritual term, and things go much, much deeper than this, but we should save that for another time. From the reading, we can see the interconnectedness of the two glands. Also, it helps to see why pathological problems with the physical Lyden gland could cause mental health problems, along with one final reading that not only shows the mental health connection, but also the potential of a potent spiritual energy being hidden away by the Lyden gland. The Lyden, or closed gland, is the keeper, as it were, of the door that would loose and let either passion or the miracle be loosed to enable those seeking to find the open door or the way to find expression in the attributes of the imaginative forces in their manifestation in the sensory forces of a body. He would often refer to the Lyden gland as the closed or sealed door, and the pineal gland as the open door. It seems, according to Edgar Cayce, that the Lyden gland was the inner spiritual center that held back a potent energy that could allow us to perform miracles, hidden away because if misused for selfish reasons, the energy could and would drive us mad beyond repair. So how do we open this closed door? Well, that, my friends, is within yourselves to find the answer, and only when we are ready.